Now, narcissists by default are not really worth engaging with, but sometimes there are signs that you should really speed up the process of going no contact or disengaging completely. So the first sign a narcissist is dangerous is they don't respect your boundaries. Now, no narcissist is going to really respect your boundaries, but this dangerous narcissist is literally going to have an absence of care for your well-being. Many narcissists, despite their lack of empathy, still have like a baseline where they don't absolutely hate other people, and they don't actually wish legitimate ill will on you outside of superiority or inferiority. Some narcissists, however, particularly malignant narcissists, take things to 100 very quickly, and they won't respect your boundaries, and they'll do really disturbing, dangerous, or even like sexual based things that are just not good and make you uncomfortable or feel unsafe. If this is the case, well, this person doesn't respect your boundaries and is probably capable of getting a lot more dangerous than that. Another sign of a dangerous narcissist you just shouldn't engage with at all, you shouldn't argue with, you shouldn't debate outside of a courtroom, a narcissist with a criminal record. Now, some people might think that's judgmental, but ultimately, if someone is a narcissist and you can confirm that yourself, and you find out they have a criminal record, not just one thing of theft or one thing of, getting in a fight, but over and over again, and they have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, sometimes 12, 15 charges of things like theft and fraud and disturbing the peace and harassment and stuff like that, back away, because that person is dangerous and they're probably going to do something negative to you, and you won't be able to do anything about it until it's too late. I knew quite a few narcissists that had a criminal record, and for a long time I would just be like, oh, whatever, past is the past, or, these are little crimes, it could be much worse, but no, that's just what's been caught with them. They are capable of a lot worse, and they probably will do that to you. Another sign that a narcissist is dangerous is extreme immaturity. Now, many narcissists, if not most of them, are quite emotionally immature, sometimes said to be at the emotional level of a toddler or even younger due to arrested development. However, that's not always the case. There's plenty of successful narcissists, psychopaths, borderlines. You'd have absolutely no idea that they had a personality disorder until they struck. The ones that are 35, 45, 55, 65 years old and act like they're 20, and they get jealous of young people, and they're just aggressive and combative to young people, and they act like they're still young, and they get into fights and blow up over nothing, yeah, that's a red flag. That's somebody who is probably heading towards a life of prison, which happens to a lot of them. They get into a fight, they take it too far, they're way too brutal, they are unfair with the fight, and they go to prison for years, if not life, for murder. The more immature a narcissist, with the older their real age is, the more danger you're in if they're targeting you. The next sign that a narcissist is dangerous, and this doesn't have to be just a narcissist either, it could be a borderline, it could be a psychopath, it could be a sociopath, if they are a substance user, a heavy substance user, or alcoholic. Yeah, a narcissist is already not very good at making decisions, and they're capable of being quite violent and aggressive as it is, but throw alcohol or drugs into the mix, where their mind is getting distorted and their thought patterns are getting corrupted, things could get very ugly, especially if they have a firearm, especially if they have any weapons in the house. Now, sometimes you can't always disengage with someone like this because, maybe they're your boss, or maybe it's your family members or something like that. But you should really distance yourself as much as you can, at least when the substance is being used, because that's when the narcissist is going to be aggressive, violent, combative. They're going to be kind of like bully-like. They're just going to be really, insecure and looking to pick a fight. And it can even be a predictor of familicide, violence, homicide. So that's a sign that a narcissist is someone you should back away from very fast. The next sign that a narcissist is dangerous, and this one is more subtle, it's that the narcissist mask is extremely well manicured. The more well manicured the mask of a narcissist, the more they're trying to hide something. So when you have those narcissists who are so good at their job of pretending to be someone else that they can hold a prestigious job without anyone knowing what they're up to for decades, and they're really good at covering things up, and they think you're going to expose them, that could become a lethal situation potentially. You really don't know. That's a person who you really want to stay away from, who is incredibly deceptive and almost a fraudster. And you don't want to be engaging with or associating with fraudsters, trust me. I put on my glasses, I'm kind of getting a headache from not having them on. The next sign that a narcissist is dangerous is mistreatment of animals. Now, a lot of people say, oh, the early predictors of serial killers are they are hurting animals. And yeah, that's absolutely true. Nothing tells me that a narcissist is more ignorant, abusive, looking for a fight, and just potentially lethally problematic than when they're rude to animals. Maybe they're just an excessive hunter, they're killing way too much game, they're having way too many souvenirs, or on top of that, they mistreat their dog or their cat or whatever animal they have. Could be a bird, could be anything. They mistreat them greatly, they're rude to them, they dismiss them, they take pleasure in their pain. Maybe they forget to feed them. Maybe they have animal skin in their house, like way too much. I've seen that before. Things like this aren't always a predictor of anything, but on top of everything else, you can be like, oh yeah, no. It's pretty easy to determine that this person is probably troubled or problematic. The next sign that a narcissist is dangerous is if they are subculturally motivated. Technically, I'm subculturally motivated, but you know what I mean. A lot of narcissists end up becoming extremists. It's actually true. A lot of narcissists are white supremacists and in neo-Nazi organizations and carry out organized crime. If a narcissist claims a group like this, and they often do, and they're very proud of it, yeah, you want to get out of there very quickly because that's a very toxic person who is on a very bad path. The last sign for now that a narcissist is dangerous is extreme promiscuousness, however you want to put it. The narcissist that can go have sexual relations with one woman over here, cheat on her with another woman over here, cheat on her with a third woman, and not wear any protection throughout all of that is a dangerous man, probably carrying STDs, who really wouldn't care if you were to contract one of them yourself from him. You get what I'm saying? Narcissists who do this are dangerous. There's not really anything wrong with sexual promiscuity as it is. You know, we're all humans, but at the end of the day, these narcissists will misuse it, they'll get pregnant without just thinking about it, they'll drink during the pregnancy, they'll go maybe get an abortion, then afterwards they might get pregnant again and do the whole thing again and not feel bad about it. You know, the rare misuse of abortions, because I am pro-abortion, but at the end of the day, you see what I'm saying here. Narcissists will abuse the system severely in really horrific ways. They'll give the STD to multiple people. It's just a nasty thing that you want to avoid. You don't want to be around that person. You don't want to engage sexually with that person. Anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.